I am embarrassed. I am humiliated. I'm sick at my stomach. Not only was I wrong as I've ever been, I silly me actually thought my Cowboys could win a shootout at Denver today. They just lost 44-24. And I'll be the first to admit, I thought Trevon Diggs would suck it up and play coming off a concussion that forced him to miss the game last week. Now he's on an IR. I have no idea why. Maybe he's on psychological IR. Clearly, he was not buying into Eberflus's defense. And then, silly me, I thought Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker would give it a shot today, even though they were nicked, and they didn't. I thought Wanye Thomas would surely play. He didn't. So that's 4 big contributors, not in the secondary, but that's zero excuse. Because thanks to Bo Nix, we were in position to do exactly what I thought we could do to start the football game. Bo Nix threw an inexplicable interception to the kid Bridges, he was a year ago a 7th-round pick by the Chargers. He's already a Cowboy, got cut, but it wasn't what he did. It's what Bo Nix didn't do. He missed his receiver by, I don't know, like 8 yards. I have no idea, but he's capable of doing just that. He can go just as cold as he can go hot. If you put him on his heels psychologically, he can start to press and get shaky in the pocket and start doing crazy stuff. And now you had him psychologically right where you wanted because Sean Payton's going to be all over him on the sideline. What the hell was that? And I said, okay, I tweeted, we'll take it, but you got to go cash it. And kaboom. My man Javonte Williams trying to go Rico Dowdle against his ex-team. Ran for a first down, and then he busts one out for 9 yards. And I'm saying, okay, here we go. And then Dak got rid of it a little late, but it got to CD for 29 yards. And I'm like, okay, now we're on the doorstep. Cash it. And on 1st and goal from the 4, Javonte powers up the gut for 3 yards, and it's 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. What should happen next, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sure all you out there are screaming just what I'm screaming. Just give it to Javonte again, and if necessary, again. He's running with a chip on his shoulder pads. He's running angry against the team that dumped him. Just, it's 2nd and goal at the 1. Just let him bang, and it's going to be a touchdown, and we're going to be ahead 7-0. And what happens? Dak looks to his primary, and it's covered. He's going to throw it from the 1-yard line. He's going to throw it, and I don't know if he was looking for Jake. I don't know who he's looking for on the right side, and all of a sudden he had to come back to the middle of the field, and he tries to force it into Pickens, and it's defended incomplete. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 1, and we false start. You just can't. I know it's on the road. I know our offense isn't as explosive as it is at home. I gotcha. But you just can't. Good teams don't false start with a 3rd and goal at the 1. You just can't against that team, knowing that you're down 4 contributors, 3 starters in the secondary. You just can't. You have to cash. And all of a sudden, it's 3rd and goal from the 6, from the 6. And I don't know, Dak forces it to CD. It ain't even close. There's nobody, it's not open. You just got to do better, Dak. We need one throw, but more important, shoddy. You can't be shitty. That's who you are. This was shitty play calling. That's what it was. Just change the O to I and you got it. Because who are you trying to impress? Is it just too easy to hand it to 33 for a touchdown? Is that too easy? I thought you were meat and potatoes like your dad. I thought this was going to be Marty ball, pound it and play defense kind of ball. What are you doing? And all of a sudden we go from 2nd and goal at the 1 to field goal in a game that's clearly at best it's going to be a 30-30 shootout. At the best. I almost cursed again. And then it's Bo Nix's turn again. And he's a little shaky. And all of a sudden, it's 3rd and 7 at the 29. They go 1 yard run, 2 yard run. And I'm saying, I don't know. Is it possible? And it was possible. Bo Nix fires incomplete to Franklin. To Sutton. Incomplete. Just made a bad throw. He's going to be shaky. He might just go in the tank. He might just lose it the way he is capable of losing it. And we're going to get the ball back. And it should have been 7-0. And now at least we're going to have a chance, because they're going to have to punt it, to, I don't know, go up 10-0. It should have been 14-0 at this point. We had 2 chances to go up 14-0. And I look up and there's a flag on the play, because my man James Houston, who I've said, for what it's worth, looks like the best pass rusher we have. James Houston lines up offsides. You just can't. Not at Denver, not given what's about to hit you like an orange avalanche. You just can't do that. Those are 2, a false start and a lineup offsides. That's bad team football. That's how bad teams get their asses kicked at Denver, and we were off to the boat races. Next play, Nix to Franklin for 26 yards, and we are cooked. Next play, Harvey busts it for 46 yards, touchdown, 7-3, and it felt like it was 73 to me, 70-3, 70-3 at that point, because it's huge advantage. All of a sudden, Denver was back in complete control of the game. And you know the rest of the story. We couldn't stop them. My God. I mean, they just did whatever they wanted to do. Bo Nix threw it for 247. They ran it for 179. I didn't do the totals on that. That's 6, that's 12, that's 426. Today, that defense, in all my years of covering the National Football League, I started with Don Shula's Dolphins, writing about them in like 1975. Do the math. In all my years, I have never seen a worse defense than the one the Cowboys put on the field today. And I give you the injuries in the secondary, but good coaches say, watch this. You saw what the 49ers, I know they got their butts kicked today at Houston. That was about Houston. That wasn't about San Francisco. San Francisco is just wrong place, wrong time, because Houston is way better than it's played. I picked Houston to pull it off at Seattle, and they had their chances. They finally figured it out today because CJ got hot. But the point is, good coaches just say, watch this, I'll figure it out. I'll scheme it up. We'll blitz like crazy. We'll keep switching zone man. We'll confuse Bo Nix. We'll do something to disrupt. And that didn't happen. It was just slow but sure death. That's what it was, just dying slowly but surely. And then it got to this for me. Third quarter, 3:25 to go. It's 30-17. And I'm thinking, I don't know if we could just go score, cut it to 30-24, maybe Bo Nix gets a little shaky. He's capable of getting shaky. Maybe he throws one to us. Maybe we sack, fumble, recover. Maybe we strip. Maybe something happens. At least give me a little hope. Give me a shot, Shoddy. And what does Shoddy do? It's 4th and 6 at his 44. 4th and 6 at his 44, and he punts. Well, clearly, he has now surrendered, as they say, waved the white flag. Because now you're just playing to keep it somewhat respectable. Is that what you're doing? Because, you know, against your defense, the problem is that if as I tweeted, if I were throwing to Ernestine and Hazel against the Dallas defense today, I would have had a good day. Seriously. I would have put up some points. How can you not? They don't rush the passer and they can cover nobody. And whatever zones they're playing are just bust after bust after bust. Bo Nix is shooting fish in a barrel, dead fish in a barrel. He just stands and stands because we get no pass rush. I don't know what happened to Dante Fowler Jr. He's back in Dallas after he went to Washington and led the Commanders in sacks with 10.5 last year, and he gets past nobody. He puts no heat on the quarterback. Bo Nix today, 0 sacks, got hit one time by Ezra Uwaku. One time there was one hit on the quarterback. Meanwhile, Dak went down twice, and Denver had 8 hits on the quarterback. Obviously, they lead the league by far in hits on the quarterback and sacks, so maybe 2 sacks is respectable. But you want to talk about giving up with 3:25 left in the third quarter, that's a flat-out straight give up. They didn't have Surtain in the second half. I don't know what happened. He hurt his foot on one pass defended in the end zone early on, and then he's back in the game, and then he hurt his shoulder, I guess, because after halftime, he didn't come back. After he did come back, after that opening sequence in the end zone, when he's covering Pickens and CeeDee. Okay, so there's no Surtain, and it's 4th and 6 at your 44, and you're down 30-17, and you can't punt. Shitty. What is that? Give me a little something. Just utter abject humiliation. Dak. So both he and Bo Nix completed 19 passes. He tried 31. Bo Nix tried 29. So 19 of 31 for Dak, 19 of 29 for Bo Nix. Bo Nix threw for 247 and Dak for 188. No touchdowns after he kept going 3 in a row, 3 in a row, 3, 3, 3, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0. The last 4 games have been 3 and 0. And today, 0 and 2. 2 terrible interceptions. And all that Dak MVP talk, it just got flushed down the toilet in Denver. Flushed down the toilet. Javonte was cooking early, but he wound up going 13 times for 41 yards because they fell behind. You got to...
The Dallas Cowboys walked into Denver in Week 8 knowing what was at stake. Instead, they walked out with a 44-24 loss that exposed every weakness this roster has been trying to hide. The scoreboard told one story, but the film told another. This was a complete system breakdown. The defense, already crippled by injuries, simply couldn't withstand Denver's pace. Bo Nix picked apart a secondary that was down to backups, while the Broncos' run game tore through a front that looked slow and overextended. 170 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a defensive unit that never found its rhythm. That's not just a bad night, that's a structural problem. Offensively, Dak Prescott never found a groove. 2 interceptions, several missed opportunities, and a lack of chemistry that haunted the offense all afternoon. For all of CeeDee Lamb's effort and George Pickens' playmaking, the rhythm wasn't there. Third down efficiency, a strength just a week ago, disappeared. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer didn't run from responsibility. He said we weren't ready after the game. And while that admission speaks to accountability, it also highlights the urgency. Because right now, the Cowboys don't just need adjustments, they need leadership. Jerry Jones watched that performance from the owner's suite. And according to multiple league insiders, he's not taking it lightly. With the trade deadline approaching, Dallas is expected to be aggressive, especially on defense. Reports continue linking the Cowboys to names like Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby. It's clear that Jones believes this roster still has a window, but he's not waiting for it to close. At 3-4-1, Dallas isn't out of the playoff race, not by a long shot, but this loss stripped away any illusions. If the Cowboys want to remain relevant in the NFC, they have to rediscover their identity, their discipline, and their drive. Because this isn't just about scheme or injuries, it's about pride. Cowboys Nation knows what this franchise stands for: toughness, heart, and resilience. And if this team can respond, if Dak leads, if Schottenheimer steadies the ship, and if Jerry makes the right moves, then this loss in Denver could become the moment that refocused the entire organization. For now, the Cowboys head toward a crucial Monday night matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, a game that could define the rest of their season. The time for talk is over. It's about answers, actions, and accountability. Because in Dallas, the standard doesn't change. Win, fight, and keep the star shining. Cowboys Nation, we want to hear from you. Was this loss the breaking point or the beginning of a turnaround? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more coverage. This is Cowboys Nation Report, and the story of this season isn't finished yet.